This is the 11 p.m. report on the leading news stories of the day in Washington and around the world. This portion brought to you by the Humble Oil and Refining Company, America's leading energy company, and your Esso dealer.
Good evening. This is Don Allen standing in for Tony Sylvester, who is in Texas with the presidential party.
This is Newsnight in color, the story of July 31st, 1968, with Warren Alney.
Good evening.
Good evening once again. This is Julian Barber with the latest returns in the District of Columbia primary. Bobby Kennedy is winning a complete victory here. He apparently will have all 23 votes at the Democratic National Convention. The forces supporting Senator Kennedy are leading in the fight for delegates by a margin of about 9-5. They are
WTOP News, Campaign 68, the District of Columbia primary. Now here is Julian Barber.
Well, as Robert Kennedy just said in Indianapolis, he views what he called his 2-1 victory in the District of Columbia as a bright spot.
Washington, WTOP Television 9, a post-Newsweek station at Broadcast House.
Good evening. This is Tony Sylvester along with Hal Walker. Senator McCarthy is leading Richard Nixon and President Johnson in that order in the Wisconsin primary as of the moment. And for the second day in a row now, American planes have ranged more than 200 miles above the DMZ to bomb communist North Vietnamese targets.
Locally, for the first time in a century, district voters will be able to elect at least some of their local officials. The House has approved the elected school board bill. It's on its way to the White House tonight for signature.
This is the 11 p.m. report on the leading news stories of the day in Washington and around the world.
The CBS News electronic brain is now predicting that Senator Eugene McCarthy will get 55% of the Democratic votes in the Wisconsin primary.
Station at Broadcast House.
Good evening. This is Tony Sylvester with a further report on conditions here in Washington in the wake of the Memphis tragedy. A close associate of the late Dr. Martin Luther King.
WTOP Television 9. The big news at 6 this evening. The President addresses the United Nations. Ford Rowan reports. Alan Grip reports as the Black Panthers are rebuffed a second time in seeking the D.C. Armory for their convention next month. And with the blessings of the governor, for the first time in history, the Virginia NAACP convention opens in Alexandria. Gil Butler has the story. Warner Wolf on sports, and Charles Gertz with Radar Weather Watch. Now the big news with WTOP news correspondents Charles Crawford and Max Robinson.
Good evening.
Good evening. Poll watchers are reporting heavy voter turnout around the country in today's election.
This portion of WTOP TV's election coverage is brought to you by McDonald's Restaurants.
Gordon Peterson here with Max Robinson, Patrick McGrath, Bob Strickland, Mike Buchanan, and...
Is coming up on Eyewitness News. There were cheers for the Bullets this afternoon from the Capitol Center to the District Building, to the White House to RFK Stadium. We'll have live reports on the festivities from Pat Collins and Mike Buchanan, and more on the Bullets from Glenn Brenner. Black office holders from around the nation converged on Washington today to complain about the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. Bruce Johnson has that story. NASA's flight controllers today fixed the orbit of Skylab to keep it circling the Earth a while longer. Steve Gendell reports. Bob Strickland winds up his reports on local fraudulent fundraising with some advice on how to avoid phony charity campaigns. Virginia Democrats met in Williamsburg today to begin picking a U.S. Senate candidate. Susan King has a preview of the weekend's balloting. Gordon Barnes has his own preview of the weekend weather outlook. And Henry Tenenbaum tells of some mysterious caves to explore in a rather unlikely place. These stories and more as the Eyewitness News Service continues now with Maureen Bunyan and Gordon Peterson.
Good evening. It's Bullets Day in Washington. Thousands of the championship Bullets fans have turned out to honor them. They've hit the district.
Here are the top stories coming up on Eyewitness News. A controversy is developing between politicians in the city and suburbs over the issue of the commuter tax and voting rights in the district. Bob Strickland reports. Chris Gordon reports on the continuing jury selection process at the Tellier murder trial. Mike Buchanan has details on a new police program to reduce the number of homicides involving members of a family. Bruce Johnson has part 3 of his special series, The Chicken Bone Express. Glenn Brenner has sports, including a talk with the Caps' new goalie, Gary Innes. And on the Future File, Steve Gendell shows us an ultraviolet satellite. Those stories and more as the Eyewitness News Service continues now, with Maureen Bunyan and Bob Dalton substituting for Gordon Peterson.
This is Eyewitness News with Gordon Peterson and J.C. Hayward.
Good evening. The engineer at Sunday's Southern Crescent passenger train wreck says a mechanical problem distracted his...
This is Eyewitness News with Maureen Bunyan.
Good evening.
This is Eyewitness News with J.C. Hayward.
Good evening. A military coup is apparently taking place in Spain tonight. Members of a right-wing military faction stormed the Spanish parliament in Madrid earlier today.
This is Eyewitness News 11 p.m. update with Gordon Peterson and J.C. Hayward.
Good evening. President Ronald Reagan says his economic program is running a political...
Good evening, I'm Andrea Roan. Tonight on Eyewitness News, Montgomery County Police are searching for the mother who abandoned her newborn son in Silver Spring this morning. Sugar Ray Leonard is in stable condition following eye surgery in Baltimore today. Frank Herzog has that in NBA playoff action, and Paul Anthony says it's going to be gorgeous again tomorrow. Join us at 11.
Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News at 6:30. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News at noon. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News at 5. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News at 6. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News Nightcast. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News at noon. Now, from Television 9, Washington's news station, this is Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Gordon Peterson. Ivan O. Donaldson, one of D.C. Mayor Marion Barry's closest advisors, former deputy mayor, is under investigation by a federal grand jury.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Buchanan.
I'm Andrea Roan.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good evening. I'm Bob Alford.
I'm J.C. Hayward.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good evening. I'm J.C. Hayward.
And I'm Bob Alford. Here are some of the stories we're covering this Wednesday evening.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News. Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Washington is a summit city tonight as Mikhail Gorbachev and President Bush make final preparations for their second summit meeting. Hello, I'm Gordon Peterson at Andrews Air Force Base.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News. Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Chris Gordon.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good evening.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
Good evening. I'm J.C. Hayward.
And I'm Bob Alford. On this evening's Eyewitness News at 5, the amazing...
Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News, Nightcast.
Good evening, I'm Don Torrance. 6 children ages 7.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's #1 newscast, Eyewitness News.
It's a victorious day in Moscow as Mikhail Gorbachev returns to reclaim his nation from a would-be coup. Good morning, I'm Phyllis Armstrong.
And I'm Mac Lee. Welcome to Eyewitness News at 6 a.m. Good evening, I'm Frank Bond.
And I'm J.C. Hayward. Chris Gordon has the night off. Most of the Washington area is either under a watch or a warning for severe thunderstorms.
Good evening, I'm Gordon Peterson.
I'm Maureen Bunyan. Should Rodney Solomon be put to death? Tonight, that's the question still before the jury that convicted Solomon last week in the carjacking murder of Pamela Basu. Good evening, I'm Maureen Bunyan.
I'm Gordon Peterson with the election.
Good evening, I'm Chris Gordon.
Now from Channel 9, Washington's news station. This is Eyewitness News. Now from Channel 9, Washington's news station. This is Eyewitness News.
A mother convicted of murder and child abuse in the death of her 7-year-old daughter should find out this afternoon whether she receives the death sentence or life in prison. We'll have a live report in a few moments. Good afternoon, I'm Mac Lee. Andrea Roan is off today.
I'm Bob Dalton. A blaze in a 6-story building early this morning in Northwest sent 1 firefighter.
Hello, I'm Bruce Johnson. A man suspected of raping a college woman who tried to help.
You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at sunrise with Mac Lee, Peggy Fox, meteorologist Topper Shutt, Frank Herzog with sports, and Jack Spear with your morning business report. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News Saturday morning with Frank Bond and Lexi Hickok with your weekend weather. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at noon with Mac Lee, Beverly Burke, and meteorologist Topper Shutt. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 4 with Mike Buchanan, Beverly Burke, meteorologist Doug Hill, Jen Fox with 9 Wants You to Know, and Kate Sullivan's Eyewitness Health. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5 with J.C. Hayward and Kate Sullivan. Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5 begins right now.
Good evening, I'm J.C. Hayward.
I'm Mike Buchanan, sitting in for Kate Sullivan.
You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5 with J.C. Hayward. Kate Sullivan, meteorologist Doug Hill, and Ken Brew with sports. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 6 with Gordon Peterson and Andrea Rome. Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 6 begins right now.
A baby is in critical condition after being dunked in the water during a church baptism. Tonight, the priest who performed the ceremony has been suspended. Good evening. I'm Gordon Peterson.
I'm Andrea Rowan. The baptism was performed.
You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 6 with Gordon Peterson, Andrea Rome, meteorologist Doug Hill, Ken Brew Sports, Kate Sullivan's Eyewitness Health, and Jan Fox with 9 Wants You to Know. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 6:30 with Gordon Peterson, Andrea Rome, meteorologist Doug Hill, Ken Brew Sports, and Kate Sullivan's Eyewitness Health. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight with Gordon Peterson and Andrea Rome. Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight begins right now. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight with Gordon Peterson, Andrea Rome, meteorologist Doug Hill, and Ken Brew with sports. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight with Bruce Johnson, Terry Okita, Ken Me Sports, and Lexi Hickok with your weekend weather.
Modern-day mobsters. A special report next on how organized crime operates on local streets.
Some chiefs of the tobacco industry would rather switch than fight.
Summertime and the driving's not easy. 9 wants you to know how to keep cool at all costs.
Good evening. I'm Gordon Peterson.
I'm Andrea Rowan. Tonight's top story, mob mania hits the Washington area. It's
live from WUSA Broadcast House. Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight begins now.
Going House Speaker Newt Gingrich receives a rousing welcome in Washington from fellow Republicans. He told them he's putting the country and the Republican Party ahead of himself. That's why he's leaving Congress. Good evening. I'm Andrea Rowan.
I'm Gordon Peterson.
Live from WUSA Broadcast House. Channel 9 Eyewitness News Tonight begins now.
Well, here it comes, and there they go. More than 500,000 people out of their homes because of Hurricane Bonnie. And as the sun goes down, Bonnie cranks up. Bonnie means business. Good evening. I'm Gordon Peterson. The storm is moving quickly tonight.
You're watching 9 Eyewitness News at 4 with Mike Buchanan, Beverly Burke, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hill. 9 Eyewitness News, where local news comes first. You're watching 9 Eyewitness News at 5 with J.C. Hayward, Mike Buchanan. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hill. And sports with Jess Atkinson. 9 Eyewitness News, where local news comes first. You're watching 9 Eyewitness News at 6 with Gordon Peterson, Andrea Rome. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hill. And sports with Jess Atkinson. 9 Eyewitness News, where local news comes first. Where local news comes first. This is 9 Eyewitness News Tonight.
It's something that will be dealt with when this situation runs its course.
New trouble tonight for Washington Wizards star basketball player Rod Strickland. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Johnson.
You're watching 9 Eyewitness News Tonight with Gordon Peterson, Andrea Rome, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hill. And sports with Jess Atkinson. 9 Eyewitness News, where local news comes first. You're watching 9 Eyewitness News at 11 with Gordon Peterson, Andrea Roll. Weather with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hill. And sports with Jess Atkinson. 9 Eyewitness News, where local news comes first. Serving Virginia, Maryland, and the District. This is 9 News at 6 p.m.
Good evening. I'm Gurveer Dinsa.
And I'm Gordon Peterson. Investigators are searching for the second car and driver involved in a deadly street race.
Serving Virginia, Maryland, and the District. This is WUSA 9 News at 5 a.m.
Good morning, I'm Andrea Ronan. And I'm Audrey Barnes in for Mike Walter. Thank you for joining us.
Serving Virginia, Maryland, and the District. This is WUSA 9 News at noon.
Good afternoon, I'm Leslie Foster in for J.C. Hayward.
Serving Virginia, Maryland, and the District. This is WUSA 9 News at 5 p.m.
Serving Virginia, Maryland, and the District. This is 9 News at 6 p.m.
From the first and only local station with news in high definition, live from WUSA 9, this is 9 News Now at 5 a.m.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mike Walter.
And I'm Peggy Fox. Andrea's off today.
You're watching 9 News Now at 5 a.m. with Andrea Roll, Mike Walter, and Kim Martucci.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Mike Walter.
And I'm Peggy Fox.
From the first and only local station with news in high definition, live from WUSA 9, this is 9 News Now at 11.
News in high definition. This is 9 News Now.
Breaking news.
From the first local station with news in high definition. This is 9 News Now.
And we're on storm alert again as we kick off this holiday weekend.
This is 9 News Now.
We begin tonight with breaking news up to
A storm alert. Your weekend may be interrupted by thunder and lightning. Plus, here's strong reaction from across our area tonight after comedian Tracy Morgan's insulting comments on gays. Also, when lightning ignites a fire in a local neighborhood, a mystery man saves the day, then disappears. Tonight, we found him.
This is 9 News Now.
But off the top, we've got breaking news. It's a deadly accident, and it has shut down a busy road on a late Friday evening. And
this is Wake Up Washington on WUSA 9.
Good morning. Yeah. Happy Monday. If there is such a thing, we say that sometimes. Is it really?
Kind of hit or miss, right?
Hey, we always say if you woke up today, it's a good day, right?
We're winning. Good.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Andrea Roan. After months of debate, stumping for votes, and negative campaign ads, finally it's Election Day in Virginia.
looks like we are going to miss out on the total messiness of the commute here in the immediate metro, but you don't have to head too far south to see some flakes falling.
Severe thunderstorm watch still in effect. We're not done tracking showers and thunderstorms. We'll talk about when they're going to finally move out and if we have to do this all over again tomorrow.
This is Hank Silverberg in Southeast, the scene of a murder, the latest in a series of violent incidents this past weekend.
Major safety changes announced on Route 1 in College Park today. I'm Scott Broom. Coming up, the action is being taken in the wake of the deaths of 3 students here.
Good evening. I'm Jan Jeffcoat.
And I'm Derek McGinty. What a crazy evening we've had so far.
I know, it got dark outside. The sky.
What does it really
take to live like a survivor?
Why are some people leading double lives filled with online hate?
This game's aim? Keeping young girls on the court and off the list of missing children.
Is the American flag backwards on the tail of Air Force One? We'll verify.
And here comes another round of showers. WUSA 9 at 11 starts now.
And we got the rain and the showers pushing into the region right now as we speak.
We're talking about this a perfect night for sleeping.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm in awe, right? It's just how talented she is to be able to shift her glove so quickly off.
A young baseball player from North Carolina is wowing people on the...
Oh, good morning. I'm Makia Turner in for Jan Jeffco this morning.
Yeah, I'm Ellen Brand. I guess I'm in for Larry. One of us is in for somebody.
Yeah, either or.
They both have the day off. Imagine that. They get the 4th of July off. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Makia Turner. Larry and Andrea, of course, have the day off. And
Right now at 5, a secret camera in the bathroom of a cheerleading studio. Tonight, an instructor is accused of some seriously creepy stuff. The pellets were meant to kill rats, but now dogs have come into contact with the poison in one local neighborhood. And we're expecting some soaking rains tomorrow. Topper is going to...
New book. The News at 11 starts right now. Up first, well, 'tis the season. We're tracking 2 chances for wintry weather over the next 4 days. Good evening. I'm Adam Longo. You know when weather is the big story, our team's got you covered. Freezing rain could impact the drive to work for some of you tomorrow. Prince William County schools already on a 2-hour delay. The chief meteorologist, Topper Shutt, here to help you plan your morning. What do you say, Top?
Yeah, we're tracking some ice to the west.